Welcome to District Command Central, your go-to source for the latest news and updates on the Washington Commanders. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a play. The sports world is buzzing with disbelief as the Washington Commanders reportedly traded their star wide receiver, Terry McLaurin, to the Las Vegas Raiders. Rumors have been circulating for weeks, but nobody expected such a seismic move to drop like this. Fans are in utter shock, flooding social media with messages of outrage, disbelief, and confusion. The whispers about McLaurin's potential departure now seem like full-blown screams, as commentators and analysts scramble to piece together why the Commanders would let go of arguably their most explosive offensive weapon. The trade marks a significant shift in the team's strategy, and everyone is trying to understand the motivation behind the move. Speculation is rife, with insiders hinting at salary cap issues, front office disagreements, or even a hidden plan to rebuild the roster in a way that prioritizes draft picks over current star talent. Social media has erupted, creating hashtags demanding explanations, while YouTube channels are already posting reaction videos dissecting every possible angle. Some fans are heartbroken, unable to comprehend a scenario where McLaurin is no longer catching passes in burgundy and gold, while others are cautiously optimistic, wondering if the Raiders' high-octane offense might finally give McLaurin the platform he deserves to shine even brighter. The timing of the trade has left everyone questioning the Commanders' long-term vision. McLaurin had become the face of the franchise over the past several seasons, delivering highlight reel catches, clutch plays, and consistent leadership both on and off the field. Analysts point out that his departure leaves a vacuum not easily filled by any single player, casting doubt on the team's ability to maintain competitive momentum. The Raiders, on the other hand, appear to have pulled off a masterstroke in terms of talent acquisition, gaining a wide receiver who instantly transforms their passing game into something more dynamic and potentially championship caliber. Rumors suggest that McLaurin himself might have pushed for a change of scenery, although insiders emphasize that the narrative is far from confirmed. Fans are dissecting his past comments, social media interactions, and even interviews to hunt for clues that might justify the move. Meanwhile, the internet is saturated with memes, heated debates, and speculative breakdowns of how the Raiders' offensive scheme could be redesigned to accommodate McLaurin's unique skill set. The league is in a frenzy, as other teams reassess their strategies, potentially recalculating how to counter a suddenly reinforced Raiders squad, making this trade a ripple that could reshape the entire NFC landscape in ways nobody predicted. Sources close to the situation suggest that the trade negotiations were intense, with multiple teams reportedly in the running before the Raiders sealed the deal. The final agreement remains under wraps, but industry insiders claim that the Raiders offered an enticing combination of draft picks and future considerations, convincing the Commanders that it was the right move for the organization's future. Speculation abounds regarding what exactly the Commanders received in return, with fans and analysts projecting everything from high first-round picks to conditional selections tied to McLaurin's performance. The trade also ignites debate over the influence of front office dynamics, coaching philosophies, and the evolving priorities of professional football teams that balance immediate competitiveness with long-term sustainability. McLaurin's reaction to the trade is eagerly anticipated, as insiders hint that he may be motivated, hungry, and ready to prove the Commanders wrong by excelling with his new team. On social media, fans are split between mourning the loss and celebrating the potential for a new era in Las Vegas. Every sports commentator is theorizing about how the Raiders will utilize McLaurin, projecting which quarterbacks will benefit, which defensive schemes may need adjustments, and how the chemistry with existing stars could either flourish or falter under pressure. The narrative is captivating, with every passing day bringing new speculation, behind-the-scenes rumors, and the palpable excitement of witnessing an unexpected but game-changing transaction. The Commanders' fanbase has been particularly vocal in expressing their disappointment, creating a storm of digital outrage that ranges from heartfelt tributes to McLaurin's contributions to pointed criticism of management's decision-making. Some fans are organizing virtual rallies and petitions, demanding explanations from team executives, while others are constructing elaborate scenarios in fantasy football leagues to imagine how the franchise might compensate for the loss. Sports radio shows and podcasts are alive with debates dissecting every nuance of the trade, speculating whether this is a temporary setback or a long-term strategy that might ultimately benefit Washington. Analysts emphasize the emotional component of the decision, highlighting how losing a player who was not just statistically impressive, but also a locker room leader could have ripple effects on team morale. Meanwhile, the Raiders are capitalizing on the excitement, teasing McLaurin's arrival and generating hype around potential offensive fireworks in the upcoming season. Rumors suggest that marketing campaigns and social media announcements are strategically planned to maximize fan engagement, further fueling the narrative that McLaurin could be a transformational addition to Las Vegas. The story is unfolding in real time, and the rumor mill continues to churn, leaving the sports world on edge, speculating about every potential outcome and questioning what this means for the balance of power in the league. Veteran commentators have weighed in with theories about why the Commanders might have pulled the trigger on such a high-profile trade, citing factors like team culture, contract negotiations, and the potential for reinvigorating the roster with new talent. Some suggest that McLaurin's departure could open the door for younger receivers to step into more prominent roles, while others fear it leaves a void too significant to fill, potentially setting the franchise back in terms of playoff aspirations. On the Raiders' side, the narrative is one of ambition, calculated risk, and the pursuit of a more explosive offense. Observers note that the team has historically struggled with consistency in the passing game, and acquiring a player of McLaurin's caliber might finally provide the spark necessary to push them over the top. Rumors swirl regarding locker room dynamics, chemistry with quarterbacks, and the adaptation period required for a star player entering a new system. Analysts also speculate about McLaurin's mindset, suggesting he might use this move as motivation to elevate his performance, perhaps even surpassing expectations placed on him in Washington. The trade has become more than a transaction. It's now a storyline filled with suspense, emotional investment, and dramatic potential, making every fan, commentator, and insider wonder what comes next. The trade has sparked an immediate digital frenzy, with highlight reels, commentary threads, and memes dominating the sports conversation. Fans are dissecting every previous game, every catch, and every signature moment of McLaurin's career, framing the move in the context of both lost opportunity and gained excitement. Sports forums are flooded with strategic breakdowns analyzing how the Raiders will optimize their offensive formations, whether McLaurin's presence will draw more defensive attention away from other skill players, and how the timing of the trade positions Las Vegas for success in both the immediate and future seasons. Meanwhile, fan communities are debating the Commanders' vision, questioning whether management is genuinely thinking long-term or simply reacting impulsively to financial and performance pressures. Insider sources hint at ongoing conversations within both franchises regarding media strategy, team integration, and potential further moves that might complement the trade. Analysts speculate about ripple effects across the league, considering how teams in both conferences will recalibrate game plans, scouting priorities, and draft strategies. The story's depth has grown beyond a simple player swap, encompassing marketing, public relations, tactical analysis, and the emotional investment of millions, making this trade a defining moment in current NFL discourse, a dramatic chapter that fans will be revisiting for years. If you're enjoying the coverage, make sure to smash that like button and drop a comment with your thoughts on the Commanders' latest moves. We want to hear from you. The timing and manner of the trade have prompted scrutiny from multiple angles. Observers are analyzing past negotiations, public statements, and even practice footage to understand why the Commanders decided to make this move at this particular juncture. Speculation includes possible tension between McLaurin and coaching staff, salary cap management issues, or a larger, long-term plan to realign the team around different personnel. For the Raiders, the trade represents a high-stakes gamble, one that could dramatically alter their offensive output and league standing. Analysts are dissecting game film, theorizing about how McLaurin's route running, speed, and hands will fit into Las Vegas' system, and whether this will create matchup nightmares for opposing defenses. Fans are not only reacting emotionally but are also engaging in complex discussions about statistical projections, fantasy football implications, and potential future trades. The narrative surrounding McLaurin has transformed from admiration to controversy to strategic intrigue, capturing the attention of casual viewers and die-hard analysts alike. Every rumor, every hint from insiders, and every social media post is being scrutinized for hidden meaning, creating a dynamic and constantly evolving story that has NFL fans hanging on every word, hashtag, and leaked detail. Insiders suggest that McLaurin's arrival in Las Vegas may coincide with adjustments to the Raiders' offensive playbook, perhaps incorporating more deep routes, intermediate timing patterns, and creative schemes to leverage his agility and field awareness. Analysts speculate on how this could affect quarterback dynamics, receiver rotations, and even running back usage, given that defenses might adjust to focus on the new weapon in town. Rumors indicate that the team's coaches are already strategizing to ensure McLaurin's integration is smooth, maximizing his impact from the very first game. Meanwhile, the Commanders are rumored to be eyeing young prospects, draft picks, and under-the-radar players who might step up to fill the void left by their star. The trade has sparked debates on league-wide forums, YouTube panels, and sports podcasts, highlighting contrasting philosophies about team building, immediate versus future success, and the human elements of professional football. Fans are weighing in with passionate arguments, some nostalgic about McLaurin's past heroics, others pragmatic about the strategic merits of the trade. The story continues to unfold, combining elements of speculation, insider information, and fan sentiment into a complex, ever-evolving saga that promises to dominate headlines, social media, and locker room conversations alike. Reactions across fan bases are intense and deeply polarized, with the Commanders' supporters expressing grief, frustration, and incredulity, while Raiders fans celebrate what they see as a transformative addition. Rumors abound about how McLaurin's leadership and on-field presence will influence his new teammates, elevate offensive production, and potentially alter team culture. Analysts discuss how this move could pressure rival franchises to rethink their passing strategies, quarterback protections, and defensive schemes to counteract a suddenly more dangerous Raiders offense. Behind the scenes, insiders hint at extended negotiations, conditional clauses, and draft pick contingencies, which may or may not have influenced the decision to trade McLaurin now rather than later. Every aspect of the narrative, from the timing to the reactions to the possible future ramifications, has created a multi-layered storyline that captivates not just fans of the teams involved, but anyone following NFL intrigue. The trade represents more than just a roster change. It has become a symbol of how player movement, strategic gambles, and managerial decision-making intersect to create drama, debate, and speculation at a league-wide level. Social media, commentary, and rumor mills all converge to create an ecosystem of reaction that continues to evolve with each passing hour. Speculation continues regarding McLaurin's immediate impact in Las Vegas, with insiders emphasizing that while the talent is undeniable, adaptation to a new offensive system, chemistry with teammates, and mental preparation will play crucial roles in determining the success of the trade. Analysts are dissecting potential game scenarios, including how opposing teams might adjust coverage schemes, how McLaurin could exploit mismatches, and whether he might redefine the Raiders' aerial attack. Rumors are also swirling about potential leadership shifts, as McLaurin's presence could inspire younger players and elevate team culture, creating ripple effects beyond just on-field performance. Fans are theorizing about everything from fantasy football implications to long-term playoff prospects, generating a constant cycle of conversation, debate, and anticipation. The narrative is evolving into a multidimensional story encompassing athletic performance, strategic decision-making, and the emotional investment of millions of stakeholders. Every rumor, report, and social media post adds a layer of complexity, making it a compelling, high-stakes drama that keeps fans on edge. The trade has become more than just a headline. It is a living, breathing story of suspense, expectation, and speculation that shows no signs of slowing down. Insiders hint at the broader implications of the trade across the league, suggesting that other teams may be prompted to reevaluate their rosters, free agent strategies, and draft priorities in response to the sudden enhancement of the Raiders' receiving core. Analysts project a domino effect that could shift competitive dynamics, inspire additional trades, and influence draft day decisions, while fans eagerly debate who stands to gain or lose in this rapidly changing environment. Discussions about McLaurin's legacy with the Commanders have also emerged, with social media and sports media dissecting his past contributions, leadership qualities, and signature plays, emphasizing the emotional weight of losing a franchise icon. Meanwhile, speculation about McLaurin's integration into Las Vegas continues to build excitement, with predictions about breakout games, record-setting potential, and strategic shifts dominating the conversation. The story has evolved into a narrative of uncertainty, opportunity, and high-stakes speculation, captivating not only team-specific fan bases, but the entire NFL ecosystem. Every insider tip, rumor, and analysis contributes to the collective anticipation, making this trade one of the most talked about and consequential moves of the season. The McLaurin trade has now become a focal point for discussions of strategy, player development, and organizational philosophy. Analysts, insiders, and fans alike are dissecting the move, weighing its implications on quarterback performance, receiver depth charts, and potential playoff outcomes. Rumors suggest that the Raiders are preparing a specialized offensive plan to optimize McLaurin's skill set, while the Commanders may explore alternative roster configurations to compensate for the loss. Debates rage over the balance between long-term team building and immediate competitive needs, highlighting the complex nature of NFL management. Social media amplifies every theory, rumor, and prediction, creating a feedback loop that intensifies speculation. The trade has transcended its immediate context to become a narrative of league-wide importance, as fans consider how the move might influence draft strategy, contract negotiations, and rivalries in both the NFC and AFC. Every piece of insider information, leaked detail, and expert analysis contributes to an ever-growing story, capturing the attention of a diverse audience of sports enthusiasts. The saga is ongoing, blending factual reporting with rumor, hype, and analysis into a dynamic, high-stakes narrative that engages fans across multiple platforms. The final layers of speculation revolve around McLaurin's potential to redefine the Raiders' offensive identity. Analysts are projecting statistical impacts, breakaway plays, and game-winning scenarios that could validate the trade as one of the most significant of the season. Fans are eagerly watching preseason developments, training camp reports, and social media posts to gauge how quickly McLaurin adapts to his new environment. Rumors continue to swirl regarding locker room dynamics, playbook integration, and the possible emergence of new stars alongside him. Meanwhile, the Commanders are rumored to be eyeing promising rookies, potential trades, and strategic adjustments to navigate the post-McLaurin era, further fueling debates about long-term strategy versus immediate impact. Every corner of the NFL community is engaged in analyzing the ripple effects, from fantasy leagues to coaching strategies to media narratives, creating a dense, interconnected web of speculation and anticipation. As the story unfolds, it continues to captivate, provoke discussion, and inspire passionate debates, proving that the McLaurin trade is not just a transaction. It is a catalyst for excitement, analysis, and high-stakes storytelling that will dominate NFL discourse for months, if not years, to come. Thanks for tuning into District Command Central. Make sure to subscribe and follow us for all the Commanders news you need. Until next time, keep the faith and hail to the Commanders.